Hey guys, it's Gina Militia from ginamilitia.com. Today I want to show you a few of my favorite Lightroom shortcuts, and these are a great way to speed up your workflow, especially if you're editing hundreds or even thousands of images. So the first one is the Auto Advance. Now, when you're uh, in the library module and you're going through and selecting your favorite images, what you might do is have maybe a star system, 1 through 4, where you might be tagging your images with maybe a 1 or a 2, and then moving on to the next image and using the arrow key to advance to the next image. This in itself is like quite a time consuming exercise. So this one little feature of Lightroom is so awesome, where you go and in the library module set your image to set the module to auto advance. And basically what happens is when you make a selection, so let's say I'm going to tag this as a like, so give it a 1 star. Basically Lightroom will auto advance to the next image, so you don't need to do anything. So I might give this a 1, maybe give this a 0, but every time I make a selection, it auto advances for me. If I wasn't in auto advance and I just wanted to get to that state really quickly, I just hit caps lock and it'll have the same effect. So I'll give this maybe a 1, give the next one a 1, and it's actually auto advancing for me. So that's a really great time saving shortcut. Next up is when you're in the develop module, and especially when you're using a laptop, if you've got all these sections open, you can be scrolling up and down forever, like when you're looking for where it is that you're at. So the simple act of switching to solo mode, just to show, it only shows one module at a time that's visible, is really handy, especially on the laptop. So basically you just go into right click in any of the modules, and you'll see that that down the side you'll get the option solo mode. So once you go into that, it'll only show the one that you're using in the side of the screen. So if I wanted to go into the basic module, only that one and shows up, and all the others are collapsed. So as I say, when you're working on a laptop, it can be a nightmare trying to find where you're at. So this is also a really good time saving tip. The next really great time-saving shortcut is, just go back into the basic module, is if you make a mistake. Let's just say I'm going to add a little bit of exposure to the background. Okay, so I'm just going to brush on across here, and I don't like what I've done. So if I just, and I just want to undo that, rather than going down here into my history panel and having to scroll down, basically all I do is on a Mac, Command Z, or PC, it's Control Z or Z, and that'll quickly undo what I've just done, and that's a really handy and quick time-saving hack there. If I'm working on my image and I want to compare what I've done with where I started, just pressing Y will give me a comparison of before and after. And so this is really handy because it shows you where you've gotten to and compares it to where you started. The other way to do that, to if you don't want them side by side, is just to use the backslash key. Will give you the same result. So just pressing on that, you can see where you started and where you are now. So that's a great little shortcut there. Next up, like if you're in the library module and you want to get to the develop module, rather than going up, pressing it, just press D, and that'll get you in the develop module quickly as well. If you want to zoom in on an image, again Z or Z, and that'll bring bring it in, and then zoom out again. So that's a really handy one as well when you're working quickly and want to edit your files really quickly. So it allows you to zoom in, check your detail, and then zoom back. If you hold down the space bar, you can move the image around as well. So that's really handy. Um, Another good one is if you want to check for blown out highlights or crunched up shadows, check the clipping mask, just hit J, and that'll bring that up. And so you can see there I've got some where the blue highlights are shadows that are crunched, and red is for blown out highlights. So that's just a really good way to check the lay of the land of your image there. All right, another one that you might want to use is we've got the crop tool here. So again, rather than looking for it and clicking on it, just by hitting R, that'll bring up the crop tool, and then you can quickly do your crops however you want. So that's a really handy one to have. And if you want to ever like have a look at your image in full screen, and this is a really handy little shortcut, just hitting F will give you a full screen view, and it just takes away all the modules and the thumbnails and everything, and just fills your screen with the image, which is great if you just want to have a good look and you don't want to be distracted by all the goings on and guffs and tools around the image. So that's a good one. And then you go back, hit F again, and that gets you the normal view. So that's it. That's a few little shortcuts just to get you started and get your workflow moving a little bit quicker.